Kal Kadosh, Boker Or. I wanted to share with you a beautiful idea on this week's parasha. It says in Parasha Vayikra, V'nefesh ki takriv korban mincha. What does that exactly refer to when we're talking about nefesh ki takriv korban mincha? So Rashi comes and he says the following. Rashi says it doesn't say nefesh in all the korbanot, right? In which korbanot? Korbanot in the nedava you're bringing as a present. But by the mincha it does. Now why? Who brings a mincha? The mincha is a meal offering, right, which is made out of flour and it's not really an animal offering. He says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's usually a poor person. So he says, Ma'aleh ani alav ke'ilu ikriv nafsho. Which means, even though the other people that they're bringing the korban, they're bringing animals, this person that he's bringing only flour, but the fact that he's an ani, it's like he's bringing his neshama. He's bringing himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now the question that we ask ourselves is, and this is what also the Balaturim says when it says nafsho, nefesh b'mincha, is it says because he's bringing his neshama. Okay, because the ani comes and he works so hard to bring it. So even though he's bringing something so inferior, which is flour, it still has a very, very great potential. So it's not only just by the way, the entire concept of the ani and the flour offering, right? We see by olata of of an ani, which is basically a burnt offering of the birds by the ani, the same thing. When it says v'shitza oto bichnafar v'yovdi v'ktid, says Rashi v'alo en lecha ediot shemeniach reach rad. It's such a bad smell. So why does it say v'ktid, which is mashma that it's actually a good smell? So he says because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the heart. And therefore, even though it's not going to have a pleasant smell, Hashem wants the heart. And if the ani, this is what he could bring, Hashem's very happy with that. And that's why there's 3 different stories to show this. Akrifaz HaMelech, he wanted to bring every single day 1,000 olot. He went and he told the Kohen Gadol, don't bring anybody else other than me. Right? So an ani came and he had 2 torim. He says to the Kohen, bring this please. So he told him, listen, the king came and he commanded me that today, nobody's going to bring other than him. Amar lo Adoni Kohen Gadol, arba'a nitzad bechol yom. I only come and I trap 4 every single day, and I bring 2. And then the other 2 I have as a parnasah. If you're not going to bring them, you're going to cut off my parnasah. Yeah? So what did he do? He went and he brought it. They showed in Akripaz HaMelech that the Korban Ani came in front of his. So he went and he told the Kohen Gadol, didn't I tell you not to bring anything? Right? Don't bring anybody. He says, Adoni HaMelech. This was the story, and he told them the story of an Ani with the two things. So he says, what? I shouldn't have brought it. Amalo, he told him, Yafeh asita kol ma she'asita. It's good what you did. He agreed with him. Why? Because he realized the importance of the story, which means the fact that the poor person was only able to bring that, and if not, he's cutting away from his parnasah, he accepted it. He said, Kol hakavod. Another story was, Beshor echad. There was an ox that they were bringing him to be brought as a korban, but he wasn't being brought. Anani came and he had an aguda of vegetables. Ve'oshilo ve'achla. And then ve'iki. So the short went and he vomited it out. Ve'otzi machat. And it took out a needle. And then it was nimshach to the korban. So it comes out, they showed the Bala Shor in his dream that the korban of Anani came before him. Right? Why? Because it came out that the Ani came and gave him the vegetables, and that caused the needle to come out, and now it was going to be kosher to be brought on the Mizbeach. There was another story of a woman that she brought the comments of Solet, right? And the Kohen was laughing at her. So he said, Reu my makrivot, look what she's bringing. Right? Ma, what can you eat from here? What can you bring from here? They went and he said, right, don't come and don't be upset at her, the opposite. She's bringing her nefesh. She's bringing her neshama. We learn from all of these stories that a person should never say, listen, I only have a little bit. What am I already going to give to Hashem? Or HaKadosh Baruch Hu is only going to demand from you according to what you have. According to what you have, that's what Hashem comes and He demands from you. And not more than that. And that's why we see to do with the Korban, that whether you bring an Olat Be'ema, Olat Ha'of, or a Mincha, they are all written, Yisherach Nichoach LaHashem. It's all a beautiful fragrance to Hashem. And that's what's brought down in the Zohar HaKadosh on Vimola, right? Vima'of mina'of ola korbano. Says Rabbi Yosef, Madua nishanon lecho korban ole, right? Leminav hashonim. Right? Min habakar le'ola, min hatzon le'ola, min ha'of le'ola, Well, it's all olah. It's a burnt offering. Why is each one different? He says somebody that has the materialism, he has the possibility, he has to bring from a bakar. If he cannot bring from a big, from an ox or anything else, from the big, so then he brings from a sheep. If he can't, he brings from a bird. And if he's so poor that he has nothing, he brings whatever he can. Why? That's what the Zohar HaKadosh says. What does it mean? We're learning that it's not upon the person. It's upon each individual according to what they have. And therefore the God of what HaKadosh Baruch Hu will always ask a person is that a person's going to come and do their best. We see it to do with the test also as well. If you have a guy that he's got a photographic memory and he gets 100 on the test, you think you care. If he gets a 60, you're going to be very angry at him. But if a person comes and they try all their might and they were learning and chazarot and everything and they got a 60, that's 100 for them. Why? Because they did their best. They did their best in their capacity. So obviously what they did was perfect, right? But that's exactly what people are supposed to understand. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and he takes every single individual according to what their process is, according to what they are made out of. And that's what he's going to demand from them, but not anything else. In the Shemaim, that's what they're going to look. Lefum tzara agra. What does that mean? A person always comes and they come according to the way that they're supposed to be doing the things. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to give your best. And your best is not going to be somebody else's best. You're right, you came and you did the ultimate and you gave whatever $1,000, whatever you were able to do. But then you have other people that they come and they were able to do nothing. And the question is, why not? Right? And the answer is what we already mentioned. The answer is because the way that we already mentioned beforehand, everything that we're talking about has to do with according to the person, the individual. Sometimes it happens as parents. Parents come and they start asking from their children or demanding from their children. Each child is different. One child, you could have demanded him to wake up early and to do this and to do that. The other one, no. But it all depends on the child. Each child is different. Each human being is different. And therefore, it's so incumbent and it's important upon us just to remember that what we have to do is our maximum. And as long as we're doing our maximum, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will always be happy with what we are doing. B'ezrat Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.